今週は特別企画アニメ銀魂映画化決定 &DVD 売上100万本突破記念第2回キャラクター人気投票大発表今日はなんだか出そうな気がするんだいHey everybody, welcome back, Unversed Podcast. It's been a minute, but me and Grant, we're back. More Gintama. I kind of took a little break because I was just binging One Piece, and
I've also been busy with school.
But nevertheless, we're back. I was like, okay, I just had to binge this big chunk of One Piece real quick because it was like the best part before the time skip. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, let's just get through this and then back on that Gintama.
Hell yeah.
And that's what we're doing today, guys. I've read chapters 252 to 296, and I was gonna go up to 300, but that's like in the middle of this arc that's going on, so I'm gonna save that for next episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, you know, reading Gintama, Grant, now, like after all of these chapters, I've kind of realized what this is. This is like an anti-manga, you know?
The antithesis of shonen.
Yeah, well, cause also reading One Piece and how, One Piece is a pretty good structure for a generic manga to look at, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it has the right notes that a shonen manga should have, and basically after like a big intense arc, right, you would have the epilogue and then like into a, like maybe filler or a prologue to the next arc.
Uh-huh.
Right? And in that downtime is when you have more leeway with the story and your characters.
Yeah.
To give it some levity after what just happened. Right? And here in Gintama, it's kind of the inverse. Right? Where like the big, action arcs are the in-betweens to all the comedy that Gintama offers. You know, so as the big serious arcs start, they generally start off like typical Gintama chapters where like there's the jokes here and there, and then as soon as one event happens in like maybe the second chapter of the arc, that's when things pick up and gets really intense, and then the epilogue is always a comedic chapter. So I find that pretty interesting.
That's what makes it one of a kind.
It really is, man, because I don't really remember reading a manga kind of like this. You know, I'm just used to mangas having really big arcs. Like One Piece, like it's nothing but just chunks of arcs, whereas here it's like there's just a bunch of mini stories and a couple arcs that last no more than 7 chapters so far. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like that's what makes it like really unique.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks that it ended.
Well, I mean, we're not even close to the ending, but I hope it ended. Yeah. I hope it ended great.
I heard it got the ending it received. It was like really well.
That's another thing too with Gintama, and I'm just like, yeah, how do you end it? Because we're just kind of coasting in a sense with the story.
Uh-huh.
Even here, I mean, it's not a real problem because the way Gintama is structured is just like, okay, let's see what is the gimmick of the week kind of thing. What are we dealing with? Who's the main focus? And that's kind of pretty much it. Kind of like a sitcom in a sense, right? For Gintama. Where it's like, yeah, no real structure. We get some great moments here and there. But like, what is the real plot? It's just the day-to-day life. It's like a slice of life shonen. More than anything.
It's very episodic.
Yeah, it's pretty,
it's
interesting with
multiple, that. It's not just comedy, it's just multiple genres put into one.
Oh yeah, when he starts just going all over the place. Yeah, for sure.
Comedy, drama, action, romance. Do I dare say that this manga is like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Like Full Metal?
Well, with all the genres put into one.
That's true. You can say the same thing with One Piece right now.
But Fuck, that's right.
Because it's just literally Oda is writing what he wants, and it's fitting into the One Piece story. That's pretty much what's happening.
If One Piece sticks to its theme. They all stick to their theme. One Piece is all pirate themed. Gintama is like Edo historical science fiction history themed. Like, for example, Hijikata, he's like, that person was a real person.
Oh, yeah. Based off the Shinsengumi and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's, reading it, and, it still trips me out every now and then. I'm just like, okay, yeah, so there's cars, there's TVs, cell phones, right? There's like all this modern stuff set in Edo, and I just keep thinking, I'm like, it wasn't that long ago the aliens showed up, and there was that peace treaty with the war. You know?
The Amanto.
Yeah, the Amanto, and then just everything being assimilated now. I mean, like, there's some cool, things going on. Like, I think it was one of the Shinsengumi cars, right? It's like a cop car, essentially. Instead of a siren, they have a lamp hanging on the side. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
But
that's right.
It just trips me out. I'm just like, oh yeah, they're talking about the PS3 and the Z-Box, you know?
The Z-Box.
And the Ooies and all that, yeah.
Nintendo Ooie. Did you just see the B emoji?
Yeah. Alright, so let's get into this, man. Let's see what to talk about. Man, there was a lot of just stuff I wasn't expecting, I guess, in here. So the first chapter I read we could talk about real quick, because you brought it up before we recorded, was the Shinsengumi apprehended this serial killer. And it's their time to interrogate him, and his name is Tanaka Kohi. And he is just, you know, he's like this crazy looking guy all scarred up in a straight jacket, and they're trying to be like, okay, we have to interrogate him and figure out these things. So it's Sogo, Kondo, and Hijikata.
Yeah.
And they all try different methods to break him, to make him talk, but it keeps backfiring here and there, and they all try this combination. It just gets ridiculous with
I think one of them throws up.
Yeah, no, Kondo comes in and he's like, here's some food, I just made this, you know? It's like, we usually don't do this kind of treatment, but hey, today's a special day, and he just slams the guy's face in the food. And he eats some of it, and then he throws up, and he's like, hey, this is pretty bad. And he's like, what? No, I just made it recently. He's like, oh no, he got me. You know, so he failed, and yeah, Sogo tried his method, and then Hijikata tried his, and then at the end of the chapter, the officer that's in there, as, cause, you know, interrogation rooms, they always have like an extra cop to listen in or whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, no, that's not Tanaka, that's just some, shoplifter we picked up. My mistake, the real Tanaka's coming in.
Whoa. Yeah, I remember that fucking episode. They did a lot of references to like old Japanese TV shows. You know, like this fucking detective show. I'm not sure if they did that in the manga. They started referencing this old 80s Japanese show. They did it in the anime also. I forget the name of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they do that
Kondo,
in that.
Yeah, Kondo's doing it in his interrogation. And he's literally he's almost reading the script word for word, talking to this guy.
It's like, hey, where'd you get the script for that show? Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, so that one was just, okay. The Shinsengumi do show up a lot here, but not, I don't know, it's just typical Gintama stuff, nothing real.
The next one was when they're stuck in the elevator.
Yeah, they get stuck in an elevator, Gintoki and the gang, and they just got paid early, so they're like, let's go eat, man, I'm hungry. And then, elevator gets stuck, and they're like, there's probably a security guy walking around, and it's like, oh yeah, that's me. You know, the other guy in the elevator, and it's like, it's a 3-day weekend, so nobody's coming back till like Tuesday. And so they're just stuck in the elevator, and they play that game that I guess is, I forget what the game's called, where like you say a phrase, and then you have to start the next phrase with a different word, with the same word as the last one, or something like that. I forget what it's called. And this officer, or the security guard's just like, he's like, yeah, it just keeps bringing up how, like, he set his house on fire on accident when he was almost done paying it off, and his wife was in there, and everybody's getting depressed, and Shinpachi's like, what the fuck, man? Like, why are you so depressed? Like, I'm trying to bring the mood up. And then you find out, like, oh, this guy's actually, his wife, quote unquote, is actually just this, blow up sex doll he had.
Oh yeah. Oh, kinda threw me off guard there, actually.
Yeah, and, what's it called? Yeah, they're all hungry, this and that. Shinpachi's trying to be, you know, Shinpachi the middleman. trying to keep people calm. And then I think he ends up passing out. And that's when, Gintoki and Kagura get serious. So they just break a hole in the elevator floor. And they're like, okay, we're gonna go eat. And I'll smell you later, man. And so they're just climbing down the, elevator cables. And then, you know, the last panel is, the doors open and it's like some other security guards like, hey, yeah, sorry, we're here for you. And it's like, okay, it's just a fun little, one-off real quick with the gang.
Mm-hmm. Holy fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Korean barbecue, man.
Korean barbecue's great.
Oh yeah, dude. I haven't had KBBQ since like my birthday.
Yeah.
That was delicious though.
Anyway, so this next arc, man. First of all, I did not expect to go back to Yoshiwara so soon. Right after we were just there.
They're gonna be going to Yoshiwara a couple times.
Yeah,
it's a new place.
Yeah, it's a new level unlocked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah. It's a new level.
But yeah, so we're back in. And also, I guess this might be one of the first times, I think, in Gintama where it's implied that, yeah, Gintoki and them have been coming regularly to this place. We just haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm. Because they're friends with, Tsukuyo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the white
Tsukuyo, I mean. Yeah.
Tsukuyo, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the arc where the ship comes in with her and Gintoki, right?
Yeah, because there's a part where, so if one of her quirks at Tsukuyo is like, if she has like just one single drop of alcohol, she is drunk immediately and she goes crazy. And she's just like, don't touch me! And she gets super violent and strong when she's drunk.
Yeah, we got introduced that in the epilogue for this arc. This was a good arc. I like it.
The Red Spider arc, right?
Yeah, where, they're being led by, Tsukuyo's old master, it's not Jiraiya, Jiraiya?
Jiraiya.
It's pronounced Jiraiya?
Yeah, it's like Naruto's.
Oh, no, cause Jiraiya and Naruto spelled with a Y instead of an I at the end.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I was thinking it was different. But yeah, Jiraiya, he was a, ninja, just like, Hattori and Sakchan and all them. But he was kicked out. Or, not kicked out, he kind of, he betrayed them and ran away. Yeah, so he's running this, like this gang thing in the back, dealing drugs in Yoshiwara. Cause now that Hosen's gone, you know, there's that whole power gap, you know, that vacuum where it's just like, okay, who's gonna be the new boss of the red light district, basically. And yeah, this one's not as strong as the first time we were in there with Hosen, right? Cause there was so much going on in there.
I feel like it was a bit more darker though.
With Hosen or with
Jiraiya? With
Jiraiya. Yeah, we get, more personal here, and, yeah, he is more ruthless than Hosen, because Hosen's just like, you guys are just brats, sit down, kind of thing. And Jiraiya's just like, no, I'm a psychopath, I'm gonna burn this place down, kind of thing.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And this arc too, I think what kind of put it off for me a little bit, to where I'm like, yeah, this was good, but not as great as Hosen, is because we also get, like a typical shonen trope in here. A few actually for this arc, right? Because, he fights Gintoki and Gintoki loses and it looks like he almost died kind of thing. And then he wakes up and then we have like this monologue with Hanzo explaining Jiraiya and, Tsukuyo's backstory, you know, and then Gintoki leaves and he just whoops Jiraiya basically.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he doesn't die, but then, you know, Hanzo comes in, he's just like, yeah, I know your true past. And then we get some flashbacks and all that. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty generic stuff, for this. Little surprised, actually, because, the writing's usually pretty strong when we get deep into these arcs. And, I don't know, like this whole backstory about him being a ninja to protect his sister and she ended up dying, I think, was the backstory, and that's when he started going downhill onto a darker path. And I was like, yeah, it's whatever, I think.
It's like, the mangaka tried to make it dark. He tried his best, but the Red Spider arc kind of feels out of place. Like, you do get some lore. I feel like the best way to explain it is that it doesn't feel like it's canon. That makes sense.
I think, well, there's some great stuffs here. Like, we get the nice character development with Tsukuyo.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good with her.
And her little quirk about her being drunk.
Yeah.
Now you understand, so many people, ship Tsukuyo and, Gintoki.
Yeah, she's great.
Mm-hmm.
She's great for sure. It was funny because, in the epilogue, yeah, Gintoki he's like, oh, here's all the hostess girls. He's like, oh, what's going on? What do you guys have for me? What's the surprise? And they keep saying stuff, and he's like, okay, wait, no, what's the surprise? You're freaking me out here.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes into this room, and there's the hostess, and it's Tsukuyo. Hinoa kind of tricked her into doing this job by not telling her it was going to be Gintoki. And, I thought we were going to get more time with her and Gintoki by themselves before she kind of got drunk. But I think it was fine too when everybody else joined in. And then, when she left, of course the classic, oh yeah, Gintoki wasn't knocked out, he's being Gintoki, and, gave her some life knowledge, and, she went off, and I was like, yeah, that's nice.
Red Spider arc was meh.
It's meh. I mean, the fights the fight stuff was good.
Yeah.
The great shot. Okay, so, I watched the clip, of this scene where, Tsukuyo's trapped on the web, and Jiraiya's talking to her, saying how oh, I have to cut off these ties so that way, you could revert back to how I was trying to create, which is just me, a clone of me, cause the whole thing is how glorious would it be to kill yourself, but he's not talking suicide. He's talking about you creating another version of you in another person and them finishing you off because that's what you would do type of thing. That's just how crazy he is, right? Crazy. When he's saying all that, he gets his hand out, I think, to grab Tsukuyo, and then Gintoki just stabs his hand, right, with a sword, and he just he peeks out of the shadows, and I was like, oh, this is pretty great. And when I saw the scene, and I'm like, oh, I thought that was a real sword. It's just his, wooden sword that he always carries around. And I'm like, he just stabbed this guy's hand with a wooden sword.
That's how pissed Gintoki is.
Yeah. And I also almost forgot to mention as well, this is I think one of the real first times we actually get a flashback of Gintoki's past. That actually has dialogue in here. Because the whole thing, the reason why Gintoki's so pissed off in this arc is because this is Tsukuyo's teacher. And all these things he's doing to her really pisses him off because, we get the flashbacks of when Gintoki meets his teacher. Right? On the battlefield where Gintoki's holding a sword he picked up from one of the samurais, and it's just all just dead samurais. And that's when his teacher shows up.
That's foreshadowing. Right now.
Yeah,
when you get way ahead, once we start talking more, I can't wait.
Yeah, because everything else we got before this was just panels of flashbacks of him in the war, and then it would be him with Katsura, and then him with what's his name, Shinsuke. So we never really got. Oh, and then I think that was it. I don't remember if we saw Sakamoto.
Gintoki. You do see Sakamoto.
No, but in the flashbacks though. Prior to this.
Oh yeah, he is a part of the flashbacks. You just don't see him yet, though.
Yeah. So yeah, it was great to get that kind of more information because I know it's pretty ambiguous about Gintoki's past. That's how his character is built. I understand it's why is he such a laid back person? It's because of the events that happened, during the war and all that. And I know we're gonna get to it soon. I think isn't the movie kind of based on one of the animated movies? Is based
the
on
second one.
I don't remember. I was scrolling through some images earlier, and I saw in one of the chapters it showed a scan of the poster for the movie, and he's wearing his armor from the war.
Oh, that's probably the second one. The second one, it's like the One Piece movies where it's kind of a side thing. I think I still have it if you want it.
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna grab it up eventually. I do want to watch the movies once I'm caught up, for sure.
Oh yeah. Still haven't seen the first one, only the second one. Yeah, what was the arc after you read the spider one?
Yeah, so it slows down, and then we get Gintoki goes to the dentist, and then there he bumps into Hijikata, and they're both there for the same reasons. And they're both afraid of the dentist as well. That's why they put it off so long. And they just hear like all this, all the drills and all that, and they're just like, "Oh God, what are they gonna do to me?" And then we see, and it's just like, "Oh hey guys, you're here too," and it's Hasegawa. And he's like, "Yeah, I figured I'd show up, this and that, get my teeth checked out. It's important, your health." And so it's his turn, so he goes in there, and you hear all this noise and stuff, and they're like, "Oh God, what happened to him?" And he's like, "Oh man, I feel better than ever, this and that." And then he has his hand, and then they look at his hand, and his finger is a toothbrush.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
And they're like,
Gintoki and Hijikata.
Yeah, and they're just like, "What the fuck happened?" And they're like, "What do you mean, like you feel better or whatever?" And like he's acting like it's a normal toothbrush. He's like, "Oh, some of the bristles are coming out." And it's like, that's not normal. And then and then they see Kondo comes out, and he's like, "Yeah, they gave me a free electric toothbrush." And it's this arm sticking out of his forehead holding a toothbrush.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, so they go in, and then, they see, like, these robots, and, like, blood all over the place, and, they're given options, and they keep trying to pick the safer one, but it's just the worst one that they saw.
Yeah.
And then, so then they get installed, like, these two old ladies on their stomachs. And then when they're getting drilled in the mouth, they're like, "Oh, we don't feel any pain." And they look up and they see the ladies, and like they're getting hurt, like they're getting all the pain that Gintoki and Hijikata were gonna get. So they just stopped and left, and they went to the hospital. And the lady's like, "This isn't a dentist place. We do surgery." She's like, "Yeah, can you just fix these old ladies for us, please?" It was so weird.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was like a one-shot thing. Makes the fucking dentist even more scarier.
This chunk of chapters here, right? Like, there's arcs going on here, right? Like 5 chapter arcs going on.
Oh, so the next one was the character pull one.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, and this was the first of many where I was like, yeah, this is just gonna be one chapter, right? No, this is gonna be a lot of chapters. Yeah, it's just so weird, man. It's
a mini arc. I thought it was actually really funny. They were all so concerned about like what rank they were.
Yeah, and I like the touch to where every character, every time they're on a panel, their placement number is right next to them, so that way you don't forget.
Yeah, like you see it the entire time, and if they do something bad, like their popularity decreases.
Yeah. There were nice moments here, mainly because we saw some characters we haven't seen in a while, like Sak-chan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, what was Shinpachi? What was his rank again? He was like
was
4th? 8th. He was 8th, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just turns into fucking, Kenshiro.
Yeah, it's because in the ranking, I was like, who the heck is that? Looking at one of the top 10.
Uh-huh.
And then, Tae-chan's pissed off because she's 13th or 25th. I think she's 25th.
Uh-huh.
And she's talking to Kyubey and Sak-chan, and they're talking, they're just talking shit about the top ranking characters. They're like, "What about us? Like, we're pretty good, And then Sak-chan's like, "Who's that over there?" Pointing at Tsukuyo. And it's like, "Oh yeah, that's that new character." And it's like, "Oh, what? Oh, she was just in a new big arc. Oh, she has an accent that makes her cute. Oh, and she has a scar, making her different, this and that, Oh,
it's Tsukuyo, yeah.
And so they're devising plans of just like, okay, well, we have to kick her out of the top 10 list. And then, and then Tae-chan's just like, you guys go do that. I'm gonna go deal with the source of the problem, the mangaka. Right?
Oh,
and it's like, because if you don't know, mangakas usually draw themselves as a caricature.
Yeah, and he draws himself as a monkey. I love it.
Yeah, as a monkey wearing a t-shirt. And so when I saw that, I was like, yeah, who the heck is that? And then I looked, I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty funny that he is a higher rank than some of the main characters of the show. Yeah, and it's great too, because she's, with Tae-chan's like coming out of the manga, like she's grabbing other panels trying to climb out.
Oh
to go
yeah,
talk
that
to the
breaks the
mangaka.
fourth wall.
Well, this whole arc is breaking the fourth wall.
Dude, the mangaka was like 16th place. He was above Otai-chan.
Yeah. And so yeah, Tai-chan was just saying like, aren't there a little too many female protagonists here at this point now? Like, let's go fix this. And yeah.
I love how like Gintoki he's like the first one, and then Sogo's second, Hijikata's third, fucking fourth, the nemesis, forgot his name.
Oh, the Shinsuke?
Shinsuke, yeah, he's fourth place, and he's like, you only see him like twice throughout the show.
Yeah, it's like
34th.
He's not even in this chapter either.
Yeah, fucking Katsuru's fifth.
Yeah, which I have to say, not having Shinsuke in these gag arcs is a smart move. Because we still don't know a lot about him, so that gives us great build up in a sense before we see him next time. So that's a smart move from him.
Yamazaki's ninth.
Yeah,
Elizabeth's 11th. Tsukuyu's 10th.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, basically all, like, it's also funny too how random citizens are also ranked in like triple digits. You know, these are just random, rankings or whatever. And the plot is like, hey, let's go beat up these top guys and steal their positions. So so Shinpachi's, you know, is trying to get out of here, and then Gintoki and Sogo grab him, and they're staying. They're all basically trapped. The top like 13 or so.
I'm
characters.
going through like some of the pages right now from that arc that you're at. It's starting to come back to me. I'm like, oh shit! I remember Shinpachi finding Yamazaki naked under the bridge.
Yeah, and his rank went down, and I was like, what happened?
9th place to 13th place to 24th to 31st. It's accelerating downward. His dick's just all fucking pixelated. And he goes down to 62nd.
And then, Shinpachi hears a noise and he looks, and it's Sadaharu just punching Elizabeth in the face.
Oh my god.
And Shinpachi's like, what the fuck did I just see? Like, I shouldn't have seen that. It's like, why are the mascots fighting each other?
Oh my god, that's right. So about other rankings too, the Justaway is a higher rank than, not Otai-chan, but Sa-chan.
Sa-chan, yeah, cause that's, you know, Otei-chan's talking shit. And it's just like, Justaway I heard is a higher rank than you, and then she makes like some kind of pun.
Oh my god, dude, you're gonna see the Justaway a lot. Sorry, the Justaway and the Neo Armstrong Jet Cycle Armstrong Cannon or whatever. Those are like Easter eggs throughout the manga.
Yeah, I think, Gintoki has an alarm clock that's just, the Justaway.
Oh yeah, it wakes him up and he's just like, Urusai! Hage! It's like, shut up, Baldy.
That's great. And then so it turns into, instead of like all the lower ranks trying to, win the top, it also adds to where it's like, Hijikata, Kondo, and Sogo versus, Shinpachi, Gintoki, and, Kagura. And it's just like, yeah, let's go steal their ranking so we could take over the top. And it's like, what the fuck is going on in this arc, man? It gets so weird. And then, Kagura teams up with Tae-chan, and then so she shares her rank with them because they have an alliance. So now all the girls are like rank 6 now. And I'm like, yeah, cause that's how that works, right? Yeah.
This whole arc is just a big numbers game, dude.
I forgot what happens. And then, Sadaharu and Elizabeth show up. I just sent it in the chat. Like, they just show up all grizzled and stuff. They're just like, stop crying or whatever, and they walk away. It is just...
Take your bratty little asses home if you're gonna act shameful. Dude, like, when you were saying that, Otai-chan told, Sa-chan, like, oh, I heard the Justaway, like, outranked you. And then Sa-chan was just like, oh, well... That may be, but did you know that 2 gorillas outrank you?
Yeah. Talking about the mangaka and Kondo.
Kondo. Yeah,
that's great.
You've been soundly defeated by a double gorilla attack. Oh my god. Yeah, this was like one of my most favorite comedy arcs.
Yeah,
oh my god.
This was pretty fun. I like this one way better than the Uwe launch arc for sure. Cause I think it was either gonna be that one or the Otaku War arc that was gonna be the top.
Remember when the fucking style, like the drawing of the manga style was like, started to become weird?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess,
the manga's becoming gooey.
yeah, it gets like MS Paint kind of art. And it's like, oh, did Tai-chan just like kill the mangaka? Cause yeah, then it switched to Fist of the North Star, and then it's changed like art styles one more time. And it's like,
yeah.
what is going on? I was hoping that was gonna, keep being a gimmick, but they only did it twice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
What? The pictures are changing again.
Yeah. Oh god, it's dark. I can't see anything. What's going on?
And then it goes back to normal. That was a great arc. You saw Kondo naked.
Yeah, Kondo teamed up with all the girls, and their ranks kept dropping because he was like, shame me, I don't care.
Yeah, remember
wait.
like in the when they like switched outfits, like disguises, like fucking Hasegawa was Shinsuke.
Yeah, and Kondo was dressed up as Kagura.
Kagura, yeah.
But not to take Kagura's spot, he wanted her brother's spot because he was a high rank too.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
For example, for example, is a really important character for the plot. He's not just some weirdo wearing a bandage, he's still very necessary.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to be that guy. I just had pink eye all of a sudden.
So I wanted to bring this up because it's just another fourth wall within this fourth wall breaking, right? Right, so it's the Shinsengumi versus the Yorozua. And, to get their ranks down, right, Gintoki just leaps at Sogo and pulls his pants down. And he's like,
oh yeah.
He's like, boss, how could you? But, you have to be prepared. And he had 2 boxers on, right? So his rank didn't drop. He's like, you have to be prepared. And then Kondo comes in and pantses Gintoki, right? And then I'm gonna read cause I took a screenshot of it. This is ridiculous. He's like, what? A red loincloth? Gintoki's like, you moron.
Oh yeah!
Didn't you pay attention to the color page that came with the character poll? I usually wear boxers, but since this was a special occasion, I decided to wear lucky red. I'm being traumatized by your bare hat. Like, I was like, he referenced the fucking color cover for this chapter.
Bro.
Oh man. And then then Shinpachi pants Kondo. And, and then, he was pants, but his rank didn't drop. And he's like, fools, I'm not embarrassed by nudity.
Oh, Commando from the start?
Yeah, that's what he said.
No, that's what Kagura said. There's no way my ranking can fall if I'm not wearing underwear in the first place, is there? I've embraced my nudity.
Mm-hmm.
You're the fool. Are you the guy who chases pedophiles or the pedophile himself? Do you not realize you're totally exposed before a little girl? Oh my god. And then he's just like, there's a part of the page, the panel, like, it's just an epic battle, it's just Kondo pantless, and like, he's pixelated dick, you see the fucking ranking in front of it.
Yeah. There's just so much crazy stuff going on.
But this has nothing to do with being prepared or qualified for death. More like, look behind you, your castle is falling apart. And fucking Otai-chan kicks him in the balls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so such a wild arc. It was something.
Yeah. That was a great arc.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and then like someone actually like steps on Kondo's rank itself and breaks it.
Yeah, the ranks are actual physical objects.
Oh my god. It's so good. This broke the fourth wall so much. Alright, what was the next arc you were on?
The next one, I just titled it Yakuza Wasps.
Yakuza Wasps.
Yeah, so, Gintoki and them get a job, to take down a beehive at a shrine. And when they get up there, it's like this giant, cocoon looking thing.
Uh-huh.
And they're just like, no way, mister. This is like some alien shit. Like, we're not professionally, to handle this or whatever. And then, Kagura just decides to kick it off the wall. And then Gintoki's like, what the fuck did you just do? and then just casually, a little panel just opens and it's just like this it's a wasp, but it's an alien wasp, but it's just a Yakuza guy with antennas. And like, they're just staring at each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's up? And Gintoki's like, hey. He's like, do you know what happened? He's like,
the hell are you doing, bro?
Yeah, that's
nothing?
like,
nothing my ass.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so it's like, it's their ship, I guess, or something, right?
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so they go in, talking to this Yakuza guy, and they're just like, yeah, our queen was playing like her PlayStation, and when you guys knocked our ship down, it hit her in the head, and now she's unconscious. And another Yakuza...
She was playing the QS3.
Yeah, QS3, that's what it was, yeah. And then another Yakuza wasp came in, and I'm not gonna lie, he was wearing a Sukujun.
Oh yeah, what are we gonna do? We're nutting without our queen, damn it.
Yeah. And I gotta say, his jacket was pretty fresh with the bees on there.
Oh, dude.
I kinda want that
if they're
now.
wasps, bro, if you think about it, yellow jacket. Bro.
Fuck. I'm dumb. Damn, you're right. And so they're just like, okay, we'll figure out what to do. So they get out, and Gintoki's like, well, hey, if there was one of those, there's gonna be another one. Let's go steal their queen. And then we could just keep figuring out from there. And, yeah, Gintoki tries to go in, branch breaks. This queen was playing her Z-Box. And so she got knocked out.
Yeah.
And then they went to another one. And the same thing happened. But the queen, she got hit by, what was it? The OE?
The OE, yeah.
The OE. And it's just like, oh wait, she's not unconscious because this model's actually lighter than the other consoles.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And
That's
it turns out like, oh, these actually, all these wasps are from different planets and they've been warring with each other. And it's like, oh, so you're here to fight. So all these wasps come out and
dude,
fight
it's
each
a
other.
fucking Yakuza and console war.
Yeah, I was like, what is even going on? Like, yeah, the factions are based off of the Q3, the Z-Box, and the OE.
And the OE.
Or the OE. Yeah, and it's like, oh boy, like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yakuza, Wasp, console wars.
Yeah, so it ends with just everybody just knocking each other out, and it's just like, the whole, like, shrine floor is just covered with just knocked out Yakuza wasps.
Great chapter, huh?
Yeah, that was, I think that was like, maybe it was 2 chapters, I don't remember. But yeah, that was something.
Oh, man.
I like this next one a lot. It's, with Sogo.
The Rokaku arc.
Yes, it's about the Rokaku incident that happened a few years back.
See, I looked at the name of it, I forgot it, I'm like, oh, is it the fucking fruit from JoJo?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, you're right, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this. So Sogo's the main, focus this time around. Last time we got that was with his sister. So it's pretty nice to see him in the spotlight again, cause, yeah, I think Sogo's an interesting character for sure.
Yeah.
Especially now, especially cause this arc, like, we actually get into the nitty gritty of who Sogo is as a character.
Yeah.
And, basically it's like, oh, he killed this girl's, father during this incident in Rokaku. And, like, she just wants to get revenge, so she tried to kill him, and so he takes her to Gintoki and them to try to help her, or whatever.
Oh yeah, Gintoki goes to this, like, theme park and starts talking to this dude that, dressed up as a dog. He starts straight up telling him the Rokaku incident and what happened. And all the kids are, like, just, like, trying to get a photo with him when he's telling Gintoki about, like, how all these people just got slaughtered.
No, isn't it the other way around? I thought the guy in the dog suit was telling Gintoki.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then they're like, well, it's the Kabuki puppy. Let me play with them. He's like, yeah, but even the strongest warrior of the Shinsengumi.
Yeah.
And then it's fucking Katsura.
Yeah, he takes his mask off. He's like, guys, God, can you kids stop? I'm trying to talk here, or whatever he said.
Oh, yeah. Man.
But yeah, no, this was really good because, I understand Sogo's motives here. He doesn't want to tell this girl about her father's past, right?
Yeah.
Because she was oblivious to all of it. And basically what it was is, he was doing some shady business, to support his family. And he was just there during the incident. and was
He's at
killed
the
by
wrong place at
accident.
the wrong time.
Yeah, and Sogo, being Sogo, he's just trying to be like the show-off genius kind of guy, to where it's like, there's no way he could kill me. I'm too awesome. Telling the daughter, and that's, she's getting pissed about it, this and that. But he's doing it to protect his image, right? And I think he holds that in high regards, right? Because when we got his backstory with Hijikata, his sister, with Kondo, all that stuff, like that.
He wants to be known as a good person, even though he has like a masochistic side.
Yeah, at one point, a subordinate that survived with him just says,
the dude with the swirly glasses.
Yeah, and he has the sword stuck in his ass.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he's always shouting. And he was like, "But sir, they're calling you like a murderer if this comes out." And he's like, "Sogo the murderer. That has a nice touch to it, He doesn't care about what people think about him, but what matters to him is other people's images don't get ruined." So that's the main thing with Sogo. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a pretty good arc." And then eventually the Shinsengumi show up with Gintoki, and they help him at the very end of the incident, and the daughter learned the truth, and all this stuff. It was pretty good. Pretty good arc for Sogo.
And Gintoki talks with the dude with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you don't really see him anymore, but he was a cool character.
He doesn't show back up anymore?
No, he doesn't show back up.
Well, I guess you could do that with the Shinsengumi, I guess, because there's so many of them.
Later on, there is going to be another character in the Shinsengumi that they show. And he's got like this big ass orange afro. And he actually shows up more. But yeah, it was a cool little arc. Didn't him and Kagura, someone like, they got tied up and then one of them like threw up or shit their pants or something?
Oh yeah, Sogo was trying to, get these thugs to untie him. Cause he's like, "Oh god, I gotta take a shit." And he's all yelling and squirming about. He's like, "Oh god, I can feel it coming out." Oh. And Kagura's just like, "Oh god, no, like, no, I don't want to be next to this." And the guys are just like, "Yeah, whatever." And then like, he stops moving, and they're just like, "Oh, did he just shit his pants right now?" And then you look at his face, it's like, "Oh, look, all hope is lost in his face." Like, he lost the energy to struggle or whatever. And then, Kagura just threw up because she was just like, "I don't want to smell shit."
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, Kagura and Sogo's dynamics, always hilarious.
Oh yeah, I love how they just fight each other.
Yeah, they just fight each other, and they're just, because they're just kids, pretty much. It's great.
And then what was the next chapter?
The next one is with Kagura, speaking of her.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot, too. It's very, wholesome.
Oh yeah, with the kid and doing the exercises.
Yeah, so, there's like this morning radio exercise program. So Kagura wakes up, runs to the park, and, exercise. Like, that's basically like, I guess Pilates, or like, like yoga.
It's a legit thing they do in Japan. They do it in China. It's a lot of the older people do it. Mm-hmm. They go up early in the mornings and they have these free like exercise routines, Yeah. I haven't seen it before, but I know it does happen. And they do it at like parks and stuff.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So the reason she's going is because you get a stamp at the end of each class. And I think you get something at the end if you fill out the card. I don't remember if you won anything. But then the supervisor mentions like, "Oh yeah, you're like one of the youngest people here aside from that kid over there." So there's another kid who's I think he's a little bit younger than Kagura. And so they're just the youngest people there. And so the next day the teacher said like, "Oh, I had to go ahead and just give you guys a stamp." So the kid has a stamp, and him and Kagura talk, and then so they just keep deciding to go every day. And, they form this kind of friendship by doing this.
Yeah.
And Kagura made a promise to him saying like, "Oh yeah, I will be here every day, no matter if it rains and all that." And so they start talking, and we find out this kid's actually sick, and he's at the hospital nearby. But he's so bored there because there's nothing to do. That's why he comes out here. even though his doctors say you need rest, kind of thing. And because he's a kid, he wants to have fun while he can. So yeah, Kagura made a friend, and one day it rains, like pretty bad, and she's trying to go. Gintoki's just like, no, don't go out there in this weather. Like it's pretty bad out there. And she's like, oh no, I have to go. What about my stamp? He's like, oh, who cares? It's like, don't go out there. And he's like, nobody's gonna be out there anyways, right? So that gives Kagura like, oh, okay, I guess I won't go. And so the next day when she goes, he's not there. And she keeps going, he's not there. And then she goes to visit him at the hospital, and she overhears the doctor saying like, yeah, no, he's really sick. He shouldn't have been doing this. Like he's on the bed with like a, one of those air masks on, to help him breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the doctor mentioned like, yeah, he went outside in the rain the other day. So he went when it was raining and when Kagura didn't. And so she felt really bad about it. And she went to go talk to him and basically say like, well, you know what? I'm going to do twice as much exercises so that way we can both get stamps. So when you're better, you can come, we'll come back and you'll just be right where you left off, kind of thing. And, the vibe I got is like, oh yeah, he's not going to make it. Like he's going to die, is the vibe I was getting off of this, chapter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, she kept doing it, and, eventually she did pass the 30-day mark, but she kept going, kept adding more. She take a piece of paper to her card and to keep getting more stamps, and she kept doing it. And then one day, the radio broke, and so she threw it on the floor to try to fix it, and it broke.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so, and now she's all sad a little bit, because she's like, damn, what do I do now? And then, good old Gintoki rolls up and recites the program, so now he's the host. And then this sparks in like all these kids to join now, and like now there's like this whole big thing. And then at the last page, it's just Kagura looking at like her 6 rows of stamps, and then somebody taps on her shoulder, and then she looks and then smiles, and it's like, ah yes, the rainy season's over, was the last thing they said. Oh yeah, implying that the kid got better and now he's back. So that was a good wholesome chapter for Kagura. Yeah, I always like those, to where it's like, okay, we get to see the innocent side of her rather than just this over-the-top,
violent
comedic character. Yeah.
Always eating, yeah.
Yeah, it reminds us that Kagura's still young and is still, learning how to be a person, basically, like an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was the next one you read?
Jeez, this next one was starring Hasegawa. Now, it starts off with actually this grade schooler, and they had a summer project to where they would write in a journal about a certain thing they did every day. And so this kid was... Do you remember this one?
Get me some booze.
Yeah, so... Yeah, this kid found Hasegawa in the park, and his nickname is Madao. And his teacher's hey, what's a Madao? And he keeps using the word Madao, and it's like, no, wait, seriously, what does that mean? And the note on the side is, I think it was Hasegawa's name or something, and it's just abbreviated certain characters to just spell Madao.
It means like dork or something.
Like a bum, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's explaining the whole summer. And it's like, yeah, he just met this homeless guy, Hasegawa, and he's explaining how, like...
How did Madao become a member of your family? It's only been a few days. What happened?
Well, yeah, so
suddenly leap too.
He's talking about how, like, yeah, he's giving him alcohol, and he's like, what are you doing? And then it's like, oh, I found a rope tied to the top of the tree next to Hasegawa.
Oh, Jesus
Madao.
Christ.
It's like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? And it's like, yeah, and then he was laying on the railroad. It's like, okay, how about we stop? And all the kids are just like, no, we want to keep listening. What happens to Madao? And the teacher's like, okay, why don't we skip to August or whatever he said. And it's just like, yeah, next thing you know, Madao's part of our family. And it's like, wait, what?
His stare was fixed down at the floor, and his eyes were vacant and lacking any life. It was as if he couldn't look up to the angels and instead watched Lucifer waiting for the day that he would join him. It's like, how did your writing become so advanced?
Yeah, and the writing in here, too, is really good.
Did this summer take something away from you? Have you become an adult?
Yeah.
It's like someone pushed the escalate button on your tiny life.
Yeah, so it just shows, he's still just, being a bum in the house, basically, drinking, and then,
Bro, how did this kid become a fucking English major already?
yeah. What happens? I think, the kid explains to Hasegawa their housing situation because his father's not around, and he was a Madao, right? It's just this term that he uses now. Like, yeah, he was also a Madao that eventually just left because he couldn't find a job, and all he did just was keeping drinking and all that.
He kept Madao in the doghouse.
Oh yeah, eventually, yeah. Hasegawa just was more comfortable in a doghouse than in the actual house, and it was funny. The kid kept trying to offer Hasegawa alcohol, and he wouldn't take it. He's like, "What's wrong? Why aren't you drinking?" Like it's a normal thing, you know. And then, yeah, after Hasegawa heard the story, the kid left a bottle of bourbon next to the doghouse, and the next day when he woke up, he was gone, as well as the bottle. And eventually Hasegawa came back. He started actually being like shaping up his life better. You know, he's helping around the house, he's cleaning, you know, he's doing stuff, right, to contribute for him staying there. And he's not drinking either. Like the whole time, he's not drinking anymore. He's like, yeah, I don't need that stuff anymore. And then one day, right, because you have to remember, it's just this kid and his mom and Hasegawa. And then one day when Hasegawa went to get stuff, she was just like, how would you like a dad kind of thing? You know, she's fallen for our boy here. And then the kid asks him one night, and you know, what does he say? He's like, why are you asking me that? I don't know, kind of thing. And it's that kind of moment to where, like, oh yeah, no, Hasegawa, or he's known, like, eventually this was gonna happen, kind of thing, but he doesn't want to deal with it in a sense. Eventually he nails an interview for a job, and he's going out, and the kid's just like, oh yeah, the look in their eyes, you know, I didn't notice it at first, but yeah, it was like a stargazy kind of look or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, she's in love with this guy, with Hasegawa, you know. And he goes to the interview, and then we see him talking to somebody else about, like, oh man, I'm nervous, I haven't, you know, had a job in a while, this and that. He's like, yeah, me too, you know, and I really gotta shape up my life, you know, I got a wife and kid I gotta get back to, and all that. And he's just like, hey man, what's your kid's name? You know? And then the next thing, we see is like, yeah, Madao never came back to the house after he went to the interview. You know, and the mom's like real sad about it. You know, she's hurt because it's like, oh man, this happened again, kind of thing. And then a few days go by, and they're calling a taxi at the park. Kid turns around, there's Hasegawa with a cup of sake, you know, being a bum again, saying like, hey, you guys want to party? I got some booze, kind of thing. Kid gets pissed off, you know, because he's like, I thought you changed. You know, we loved you at the house, this and that. I thought you weren't gonna do this anymore, because they heard that he went and partied, basically. He got like drunk and like just ruined his interview in a sense. Yeah, and the reason, you know, we find out he did that is so that way this guy that he was talking to, which is this kid's father, would get the job, basically. Because they were just like, yeah, that Hasegawa guy, piece of shit. Yeah, you're probably alright, kind of thing. And so yeah, the dad went back to the house and all that, and it got wholesome at the end. And this homeless guy walked over, grabbed Hasegawa's cup to drink, and he's like, what? This is just water. You know? And yeah, Hasegawa was just like, yeah, booze, I don't need booze, you know, I just need this in life. And I forget what he says, but I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I just kept thinking, and I'm just like,
wholesome at the end.
Yeah, wholesome at the end, but I was just thinking, like, I forget, like, Hasegawa was married, kind of, like, he's married, right? And I'm just like, now he moved in with his family, and I was like, oh, okay. But the best part about it was, so the kid's reading this, right? This is in his journal. He's reading it. Everybody's applauding this and that. And the teacher's like, oh, this is great. And then, we see another panel. He's like, what? There's more. And it's like, oh, it's the credits. And it's like, like what? And then the last page, it says, director slash script writer, and it was his mom. And he's like, "What? Your mom wrote this? You didn't write this?"
Oh man.
Yeah. So that was that last little kicker at the end that they had to put in there.
Oh man, that was pretty funny. That was a wholesome one. The next one.
This next one. Cats. Yeah. This is one of those really weird ones. I was like, why are we doing this, man? Yeah.
Just for the hell of it. It's Gintama.
Yeah. This is where it starts going off the walls a little bit, right? Cause Gintoki and them get a job trying to find this cat. Gintoki's taking a piss, and then he vanishes. Next thing you know, he's a cat. And he's like, why the hell did I turn into a cat? And then, and then, you know, he's dealing with all this bullshit being a cat. He gets saved by the boss man. And then, you know, they go back to the shrine where that's like their hideout, all these stray cats. And then he sees one wearing a scarf, standing upright, leaning, doing that, you know, that shonen thing, leaning on the tree with his arms crossed kind of thing, looking cool. And it's just like, what the hell's that cat doing? So he went to go talk to him. And, they're like, what do you think this is? You know, it's this mound Gintoki took a piss on. He's like, is that a urinal? It's like, no, this is a grave of a cat that the owner of this shrine was taking care of or whatever. And he's like, oh god, he's like, oh, so I'm cursed. And then he's talking to the cat more, and this cat took a shit on there, and he says like a samurai has to be prepared to use the bathroom anywhere. And it's like, Katsura, is that you? What the fuck? And then they bump into Kondo, but Kondo's not a cat. Kondo got turned into a gorilla.
Fucking course. Yeah.
He's like, why did I turn into a gorilla? He's like, maybe I guess this owner also had a pet gorilla that he buried down here and I took a piss on or whatever. And it's like, yeah, probably not, dude. What do you?
No. Just a fucking gorilla at this point.
Yeah. I was surprised that there was a lot of chapters for this as well. And how deep it gets with the main cat. As we find out, this cat was actually a person before, kind of thing. That's why he's helping Gintoki and them, trying to assimilate back to their lives. They're like, yeah, you're never going to turn back into a human kind of thing. And this cat's actually tied in with the Gintoki's landlord. Was it Otose?
Yeah, Otose, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, these cats are being captured by these alien cats, you know, these humanoid cats, and all this, and yeah, it's just the cat arc.
That's really what it is, just a cat arc.
It's just weird, and yeah, at the end, you know, they get turned back to normal, and but they go back to where they were, and they're stuck in the ground, Gintoki and Katsura. And then, the Shinsengumi all walk by. And then, we see Kondo walk by. He's still a gorilla. But he's wearing his uniform. And then Hijikado is just like, hey, Kondo, there's something different about you. Did you get a haircut? Yeah.
Oh, man. They don't even realize it, because he's already a fucking gorilla. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Exactly.
Great one. Great manga. Great arc, mini arc, I mean.
Yeah. So the next one is, Kagura only makes rice and eggs for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Gintoki's tired of this shit. He's like, again?
Make something else, damn it.
Yeah, so Kagura's pissed off. She storms off to go see Shinpachi and Tae-san. Because I guess Shinpachi goes to eat breakfast with his sister. And, Shinpachi's like, well, yeah, you know, you do need more than just that, you know, your daily nutritions. And Tae-chan was just like, oh, how about, I'm going to this cooking class. You want to go with me? And then, we see Sok-chan there as well. Kyubei's there. Okay, well, Kyubei shows up first. And then everybody's talking and they're just like, oh, do you want to cook good for Gintoki? Right? Talking about, Tae?
Oh, this cooking arc. I remember this. Okay.
Yeah, and then that's when Sok-chan came up. She's like, you're cooking for who? No, I'm cooking for Gintoki kind of thing, you know?
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, they all become a team and they have to, cook, but they pissed off like the head chef of this class and all that. And
oh yeah, because they make her face, or Kato Shimura, and then she's just like, she eats it and she's like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. Or no, she's, the chef was just like, you guys can leave, you guys know the true meaning of cooking. I don't need to teach experts or whatever. And they're like, and then like some of like, so they leave and they're just like, was it really that good? He's just like, no, I just wanted them to fucking leave.
I'd like to know too, who the hell is Kato-chan or Ken-chan?
Oh yeah, they were building up this story and all that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then again, this was like 2-3 chapters, and I was like, why is this so long?
Right. And then what was the one after?
Let's see, the one after. This is also where like we're getting ridiculous now too.
Oh, is it with the boogers?
Yeah.
The snot?
Yeah, Shinsengumi are gonna go raid this building, and the morale's pretty high. Everybody's getting pretty serious, and then Hijikata notices that Kondo has a small snot hanging out of his nose. Well, shit.
They've seen Leviathan.
Yeah, he's like, well, I can't bring this up, it's gonna bring the morale down or whatever, so, I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with this. But it just keeps getting worse, and so now, like, this whole, like, strain of snot, off of, Kondo's face, and then eventually it comes out the other side of the nose, and it eventually becomes, like, Kondo's stand. It starts fighting, and all that, and it gets just really weird with the snot, and then, yeah.
Summon Bahamut.
yeah. And then eventually the snot flies out of his nose, and then it turns into a head, and it's like, oh, I'm actually the real Kondo. I just took over that body, And then Hijikata's like, that's fucking bullshit, or whatever. He throws the snot, and then he wakes up in the car, and he had a dream. And it's like, Kondo's like, Hijikata, you're okay, man? You look a little tense. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh yeah, the snot just, like, gets the fucking, the napkin and rubs his face.
Yeah, and eventually he grabs his sword.
grabs his sword.
Yeah.
Oh no! Bring it on, fools! Let's go! And it starts swinging it. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that fucking... Why does that snot head look like a Pac-Man ghost?
Oh yeah, that too.
I'll be waiting with Otai-san's nose. I'll be waiting. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, this is just a weird one. It's so weird.
And then after that...
after that one, we get, Gintoki outside, it's raining, and who does he bump into but his favorite news weather anchor,
Ketsuno Anna.
Yes. And, he's a big fanboy, huge crush on his waifu,
That's pretty much...
Yeah, and he's acting all different, trying to get her praise and all that, and it's like, oh man, she's been getting the news wrong lately on the weather. It's always raining when she says it's not raining.
She's always accurate, yeah.
Yeah. And then we find out, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not just a weather lady, I'm also a mage, right?
And the demon comes through their house.
Yeah, Gintoki's like, yeah, we'll settle with whatever. And then, busts into the house, and then she gets that, that's the thing about Gintama, is like, no matter what type of character, we're introduced to, if something happens...
They're always gonna have a quirk.
No, if something happens, they'll always, if they're gonna attack, they always get the same face and, like, body motions going on, to where where it throws you off. Where she's like, oh shit, they found me. And then, she's doing her fucking magic summoning shit to destroy the demon, and they're just like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, they're just like dumbfounded. They're like this battle's happening, and their faces look normal. Like, what?
Yeah, so
like, how do I react to this?
Yeah, she's like, so basically, I'm a mage, kind of thing.
It's called. She's called it on Myoji.
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's the Japanese term. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just always forget what it is.
They're, I think, like warlocks or something.
Basically, that's what they are. Yeah. So they go to her shrine, and
the fucking big ass demons. Don't you know that you're on Ketsuno clan property?
Yeah, and so Gintoki's like, "Don't worry, guys. She gave me. a demon.
I'm saving this pitch just because of Shinpachi's face."
Oh. Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, guys. She gave me a demon. So all I have to do is just put our blood on it." And then it's like, it's not, nothing's happening. He's like, "What's going on?" It's like, "Try it again." And then somebody answers, and it's just
yeah, it's like a door. It's like one of those intercom things.
Yeah,
like when you're entering like an apartment. I don't need a newspaper subscription.
Yeah, and it's just like, is this the demon or whatever it is? And then she's like, no, it's like, oh, this is the demon's mom? Okay. Where is she? It's like, oh, she's out for a bit or whatever, and then the dad shows
so
up.
Deep into this.
Yeah, then the dad shows. It's like this whole bit, and then eventually she comes out. Yeah, and it's just like, she shows up in like a funeral outfit, holding a picture of her mom, and Gintoki was like, wait, was I the cause of this? What's going on? Did we interrupt something? This and that. And then so she defeats all the demons, and then she's just like, oh, I was just messing with you guys. Like, none of that actually happened. That was just me.
Oh. Oh, man.
Yeah. So
you will read this chapter and enjoy it, or you shall regret it. You have no idea the torture typesetters can cause you.
That's the first page, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They meet her brother, and then you find out, like, there's this opposing clan, and, like, they're neighbors. And Shinpachi's like, why the hell are you guys neighbors?
Oh, yeah! They're like enemies, but neighbors. It's great.
And it turns out, like, oh, this enemy clan is actually, summoning the rain to get her predictions wrong. And we find out, oh, this is actually her ex-husband. So he's doing this to spite her and all that. And then, her brother's clan wasn't strong enough to stop it this time, so everybody's knocked out. Except for him, because, he's like the strongest mage out there. And then, they do this tournament, and, it just ends kind of like how a normal... This was like a semi-serious kind of, arc.
It was like serious but funny, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of jokes.
Gintoki's waifu.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, like, he was fighting a demon and then he lost a testicle.
His balls fell out of his body.
Yeah. Oh, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
Anything for the waifu.
Yeah, it's just such a... It's literally just so Gintama. If you were to describe that, these arcs, it's like, this is just what Gintama is.
That girl, though, you do see her again.
The weather lady?
Not just the weather lady, but the demon girl.
Yeah, what was her name? Goemon or something?
I think so. But remember,
I like her design. It was pretty good.
Shinpachi be looking like fucking, Chin Chin.
Oh yeah, when I got to that part in the arc where Kagura's just like, what are you talking about? We have a super strong demon here. And I was like, oh, she's talking about herself. And then I'm like, oh no, of course, this is Gintama. What am I talking about? She's gonna use Shinpachi as the demon.
Oh, and then the pandemonium.
Yeah, they have to... The first competition is they have to eat this pandemonium. And it's like this, like, behelit looking insect.
Behelit looking?
Yeah, it has like the face of the behelit has in Berserk. It has like this, like, insect,
and
body.
then it turns into a waifu.
Yeah, he accidentally kisses the mouth of this thing, and he's like, oh. Shinpachi's like, oh, that was actually my first kiss. And the demon's like, actually me too. And they start blushing, and yeah, it turns into a waifu.
Bro, I didn't particularly mind. It's all bald and shit. And then its face changed. It's got the face of a hot babe.
Yeah, all waifu status and stuff. And it's just like, what are we doing here, guys?
And then, like, he couldn't eat it.
Yeah, he just couldn't.
He fell for it. He gets a fucking nosebleed. Oh my god. Pandemonium-san!
Oh yeah, because Kagura just punches Pandemonium and then it gets eaten by the other demon, and so...
And then she just punches the other demon.
She just beats up the other demon, and then he throws up Pandemonium. Kagura's like, okay, you can eat that, and then it just ends in a draw, because it's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, it's a draw. And then he makes a grave.
Yeah, he goes to bury it, and then the last match just becomes like a wrestling match.
Yeah, and then the girl destroys one of Gintoki's testicles.
Yeah, it gets pretty anime in the last fight.
Oh yeah, he just fucking face kicks him. The other dude.
Yeah, he just starts fighting. It's like, oh, instead of summoning an ogre, he's just going straight up with his bare hands.
Yeah. Oh my god. It was a meh kind of arc, but still pretty funny.
It had its moments, yeah. But yeah, this arc was, it was all over the place too.
You're right. Come back, testicles.
This is where we're getting like the real defining moments of this is Gintama for now on.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting off of this.
This should be fun, right? And he's down. Sakata has been knocked out. He probably won't be getting back up from that anytime soon either.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And then, it's already been we're already back to a Christmas chapter. I believe I read one last episode.
What's her name? Satan?
Oh no, that was the last Christmas chapter.
Was it the one where they wanted to surprise Kagura?
Yeah, so Kagura writes a note to her dad, talking about Santa, and she was just like, yeah, he was supposed to show up last year, but he never did. I hope he does this year. And so her dad finally he just finished a mission, and as he's describing, he's like, don't worry, like Santa will come this year in a red suit and a sack, right, like a bag, and like he's at the airport coming in, and his suit's all bloody red, so like a red suit with a sack, and it's like probably like the dead bodies or whatever, what he just killed. Kind of thing. And, so he wants to surprise Kagura by being Santa. But he doesn't have the white beard or anything. He just has he put on like a fake, like black beard, like to match his hair color kind of thing. So he's,
yeah.
And then so, he wants to surprise her, but he accidentally makes a noise outside, and Shinpachi's like, somebody's outside. And he's like, damn, they spotted me, okay. And so he hops out, he's like, yo ho ho, yo ho ho. Fuck, I got One Piece on my mind.
Yeah yo.
He's like, Merry Christmas, it's me, Santa, and, Kagura is like, she's like shocked, but then she's getting more shocked, and he's just like, what's wrong with her face? And
fucking Gintoki.
Yeah, and he looks to his left, and Gintoki's Santa Claus as well. And so she's like, 2 Santa Clauses?
That's gonna be my profile picture on Facebook on Christmas Day.
Oh, there you go. And so they're just like, now they're just like, oh god, I have to pretend I'm the real Santa now. And so they're just talking shit to each other, like, what are you doing, you fake? And they start giving off examples, and they both think like, holy shit, either this guy's really good at faking it, or this is the real Santa. Like, what do we do?
I can do Gintoki Santa as a cosplay for ALA. So easy to do. Oh my god. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, and
I just gotta beat Shinichi. Oh my god. They start fighting like tech.
Yeah, they don't know what else to do, so they just start punching each other. And it's like, why are they fighting? And then another Santa shows up, and it's Kyubey.
Oh yeah.
And then what does she say? She's like, I'm Kyubey Claus, or whatever. She gave her name.
Brought a year's worth of Your Majesty's favorite Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah. And then of course the next Santa that shows up is Sakchan. And like,
no, it's Kondo.
Oh yeah, Kondo shows up with like the unbuttoned shirt.
And he's got a rocket launcher.
Yeah, he shot a rocket, and then Sakchan showed up, and then...
It is the jungle marked by me, Saruta Claus. The Saru in Saruta means monkey, ape.
Oh, of course, it has to be a...
and I cannot forgive anyone that lays a hand on any of the she-monkeys in my jungle. Oh my god.
Bro, you just posted cringe.
You just posted cringe, donkey. But yeah, and then Sachan's in the bag.
Yeah, and of course, she's there for Gintoki, and then...
It's not even Santa anymore.
Yeah, because she's just in the bag. Well, then we see she's wearing a Santa outfit. You would buy it like Spirit Halloween.
Like a sexy Santa outfit?
Yeah. And so they're like, okay, Kagura's like, okay, we're gonna hold a contest to see who's the real Santa. Give us scenarios. The best Santa one wins kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the stories.
Yeah, and they all have, poor Hasegawa, he's just like a cockroach. Is what Kagura kept giving them.
And then Shinpachi's the Christmas tree.
Yeah, Shinpachi's naked as a Christmas tree.
Well, he's got his boxers on at least, unlike Kondo.
Yeah, that's true. It was funny when they got to Sakchan's part, because she just recreated the To Love Ru opening.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, that's where, because Shinpachi's just like he's just chilling in his bed, and then something crashes, and she's on top of him. She's like, "Oh, hello there, master," and it's literally the same, like, shot for shot of To Love Ru.
Wait, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, in To Love Ru, the same thing happens, except Rito's in the bath when oh god, I can't.
Okay.
Am I forgetting her name? It's been so long. What's her name?
I didn't even know they were making fun of To Love Ru.
Who says it in the chapter? Somebody says it in the chapter. It's like, oh, you just recreated a certain shonen series.
1 to 2,
Lala,
Sachan.
Yeah. Is her name. Yeah.
I am Glasses Model Ninja Santa Robot, or Sachan for short. I had to smack you upside the head. Oh my god. Man.
Yeah, and then the final scenario is like this whole high school, like, just high school slice of life kind of series. And then
Gintoki still got the beard.
Yeah, and Kagura's dad has like a pompadour.
That's great.
Because they're delinquents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good Christmas arc.
Yeah, it was something. It was
something different.
I don't know. I still like last year's Christmas one where Gintoki on his moped, you know, he hits Santa Claus, and then you see his deer, and it's like just a humanoid deer.
Oh yeah.
And then they're just taking shots of sake at the.
It's like, what was her name? Satan. He really is Santa. Overcoming a hurdle like this was an easy task for him.
So the next one was with Yamazaki.
Uh-huh.
And you know, he's like the spy of the Shinsengumi. So he's doing a stakeout.
Oh, the Onpon!
Yeah,
oh my god!
Yeah, the Onpon.
Dude, this was one of my favorite episodes. Oh man.
Yeah, so his gimmick here is that's all he eats
is Onpon and milk.
Onpon and milk during his stakeouts. And he's tasked to watch over this girl at this like ramen shop or whatever. To make sure, because she's being targeted. He's just waiting for something to happen, basically. And the days go on by, and he accidentally bumped into her, and it's like, oh, do you like Onpons? Because that's all he had. He's like, no, I don't like them at all. You know? And he says himself, he's like, yeah, I only eat this during stakeouts, you know? And yeah, it's just been going on for just like a whole month.
To fend off those wicked thoughts like I was practically wishing harm on her, I'm eating Onpon again today, and I threw it all up. His room is getting trashed with Onpon and milk. I'm throwing Onpon against the wall again today.
Yeah, and then he starts like banging his head on the walls. He's just going crazy.
He was like fucking in the anime when he throws it. He's just like Onpon fucking. Oh my god. He gets. Oh my god. I'm sparking it Onpon out the window again. Onpon no sparking do. And he throws Onpon at everyone. Oh my. I'm sparking at Vice Chief. Oh my god. This was one of my most favorite episodes of Gintama. And then everyone looks. Oh, I'm sorry. Onpon.
Oh yeah, there's just the pager, and he's just like basically screaming
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. This is one of my most.
Yeah.
One of the most funniest parts of Gintama. I love. Oh my god, the fucking Onpon is so crazy.
Yeah, and the main reason why he's going crazy is because nothing's happening. You know, it's like nobody's targeting her. Like her brother's not showing up and all that. And he's like, when is this brother gonna fucking show up? You know,
Onpon. Yeah, and then fucking Christ, I'm sorry, I can't get over this. All right, continue.
Yeah, so yeah, he's losing his mind. And then he steps out the room one night, and
he somehow ends up in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, for some reason.
Onpon day 31, when I came to, I was covered in red bean jam and standing stock still at a place I'd never been to before. It appears I've been roaming the streets for a few days like I'd been street walking. I don't think I can stand eating another bite of Anpan. Oof. Oh my god. I'm sorry. That was just funny.
Oh yeah, man, yeah. So
and
yeah,
he finally eats nothing. He finally eats something that's not Anpan.
yeah, and it's the girl he's been protecting is like, yeah, I've noticed you, other person across the street kind of thing, and she's just like, here, something something else to eat, and he's so happy that he just starts eating it, and the next thing you know, he wakes up at the hospital, and he was
because it was poison in it.
Yeah, and Hijikata just breaks it down for him, and it's just like, yeah, so she was in on it the whole time. And she played you for a fool, basically. This and that. Ooh. And then he just went back to get his revenge, basically, on the brother and sister, because they were in on it the whole time. Or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. That fucking whole Anpan scene.
Anpan.
Anpan no Sparkingu! And then it's just like a fucking demonic chant, just Anpan. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, Yamazaki. Oh my god. This man has issues with food. Whew. I'm sorry if I laugh so much. That is like, that Anpan scene in Gintama is my most favorite and hilarious scene. Like, it was so funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that scene. Eventually.
Here,
have to check it out.
let me find it. But yeah, what was the next chapter?
The next chapter was the New Year's chapter.
It was the what?
The New Year's, chapter. Gintoki and them, they received like a bunch. Gintoki's complaining because he's like, God damn it, we got too many New Year's Eve cards. How are we gonna reply to all of them? And so they're just reading them. They're just reading them off, and then, it's from all the characters we see here. The usual bunch. And, he gets one, or they get one, and it's just, Shinpachi's like, Gintoki, you might want to look at this one. And he's like, what is it? And it's from Sakchan, and it's a photoshopped postcard of her and Gintoki, getting married.
Oh.
But, clearly it's not Gintoki because it's his head, and then his body's
the
just
dude's
like...
too buff.
Yeah, just a bodybuilder,
Who the hell is that? And he throws it in the toilet.
Yeah, and it's like, how is anybody gonna fall for this, And like, they started getting replies from everybody saying like, oh, congratulations, we didn't think you were gonna get married or whatever, this and that. And then,
oh yeah, congratulations, I sure hope our kids can all go to the same school. With fucking Kondo and Otai-chan.
Oh yeah, and yeah, they're just like, hey buddy, you kinda, jumped the gun on that one a little too far, don't you think? And, it was funny too, because, with, Tsukuyo, from Yoshiwara, cause she has a thing for Gintoki, and, they sent 3 separate postcards, right? One from her, one from, what's the kid's name? Oh, one from Seita, and then one from Hinoa, right? And Seita's and Hinoa's ones just say like best wishes or whatever. One of them says, I forgot what one says, and then Tsukuyo scratches it out and writes something else, cause she's pissed off. And then Seita wrote it, and it's like, hey, since we heard you got married, Suka-chan's been kinda lonely, and she scratched that out. And then she wrote hers, like all pissed off and stuff. It's funny.
The New Year's card from Yamazaki. It's just Anpan written 100 times.
Oh yeah.
They're like, what the hell's wrong with Yamazaki? And the one from Hijikata, Kondo-san hasn't been home in at least a week. You guys know anything?
Yeah, and they're just like, oh god. And then, and then Hanzo sent one too, and it was just like, hey, I haven't seen Sakchan in a while. Is she with you guys?
And then Tai's just like, due to this time of mourning, I must refrain from sending you a New Year's greeting. In December, our pet gorilla and female pig passed away.
Yeah. And then
you guys had pets? Yes, we did.
And then Sogo sends one too. And it's just like...
Kondo-san hasn't come back in about a week. Do you happen to have any idea if someone's older sister might have killed him or anything? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Hey, did something happen to Yamazaki? And then, didn't, like, Hasegawa become, like, the leader of a tribe in South Africa?
Oh, yeah, Hasegawa's wife sent one too.
Uh-huh.
Saying like, yeah, have you guys seen him? I found a pair of sandals and sunglasses that look a lot like his next to the riverbed.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, oh, did he finally kill himself? You know, is the thought. And then, what's it called from there? Oh, we get a postcard from Hasegawa, but then we get a little backstory on it, and it's like, yeah, he washed up on and went to some tribe that they found, and he's kind of a bit of an outcast, and there's these two warring tribes, and the two chiefs are fighting each other, and Hasegawa steps in and tells them we shouldn't be fighting this and that, and since he doesn't have his sunglasses, he just got some leaves and tied them together, so those are his sunglasses. And then so the two chiefs take off their helmets, you know what, you're right, we shouldn't be fighting, and it's Kondo and Sakchan. This is where they went.
And Gatoki lights it on fire.
Yeah, and he's just whatever, we'll just write the same thing for all the replies.
And then Katsura sends him one. He's like, I was on a raft to stand by at Necrogon, but I ended up at Rondalkia. And Rondalkia is a place in Dragon Quest II.
Oh, nice. Well, he actually sent a few. It was after the wedding postcard. He was just
I'm waiting outside the chapel all day.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, good stuff.
That was so good. Oh, dude, I saw on your Instagram the Street Fighter cover.
Oh, yeah, to commemorate the 6th year anniversary. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And a fucking course Kondo is, what's his name?
Oh, it's Blanca. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Who is Hijikata supposed to be?
Probably Ken, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm just worried because of the tie. That's what I was trying to think.
Well, because... I only say that because Gintoki's clearly Ryu.
Yeah. Oh my god, fucking Vega is,
Katsura and the mask is Elizabeth.
Fucking Elizabeth, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think this, I don't know which Street Fighter this is trying to...
It's, Street Fighter 2.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, here, if I look at the cover...
Yeah, so that is the, that starts off the new arc that I didn't read. That's actually the next thing.
No, it's not Street Fighter 2. Let's see. Cover. I'm trying to figure this out. Street Fighter 3? Cause they come out with the same game 30 times.
It's probably from the Alpha series, yeah.
Yeah, let me look up Street Fighter 2 Alpha. I thought it was from Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD. No, Street Fighter 2 Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha 2, that's just with, Ryu and Akuma. Street Fighter...
You know what? I think it might be a Street Fighter 2 because, Otosei's, Akuma, and, I guess that's the chief of the Shinsengumi. He's M. Bison. So maybe, well, I don't know because Akuma wouldn't be on a cover of Street Fighter 2. Cause he was a secret character, I think, when Turbo came out.
No, this is hard. Wow. Street Fighter covers. There's a lot. Alright, but anyway, continue. I'm gonna try and find this out.
We'll talk about that arc on the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one was the other Valentine's Day chapter, where Kagura is nervous. She doesn't know how to give Gintoki and Shinpachi a chocolate.
Is this the one where she tries to press the doorbell and breaks her finger?
Yeah, not her. It's actually Sak-chan.
Yeah.
We get all the main girls here. So Kagura goes to Tsukuyo to get her help, right? To send the chocolates. And Tsukuyo's just like, oh, okay, yeah, or she's like, oh, I'm actually gonna go to give chocolates. The Hinoa wanted me to do that. Right? And it's like, oh, can I go with you? Cause, that'll give me more confidence. And she's like, sure. So she went to go pick up the chocolate. I forget what's written on there, but it's kind of like, it's not an obligatory chocolate is what the text is assuming kind of thing. Cause there's two types of chocolates. There's the chocolates you give your friends, and then there's the chocolates you want to give to a guy that you like, in Japan anyways. Cause remember Japan has also White Day.
Yeah.
Which is March 14th, and that's where the guys do it as well. Which we haven't gotten that in Gintama. I was surprised.
Yeah, cause it's, White Day is a Japanese thing. But it was like, it's not a legit holiday. People think it is, but it's like, it was made by a company to sell more chocolates.
Yeah, but I've read other mangas that do the slice of life that implement it in there. I believe Nisekoi was one.
Yeah, that's right.
Tsukuyo's like super nervous to do it as well, right? Because she's got the thing for Gintoki, and so she fails to give. Oh, what happens?
Wait, throws it in his face?
Yeah, because she eats a chocolate at the store, and then Kagura's like, oh, I want a sample. And the lady goes, oh, actually, this is those whiskey bonbons. You can't have it. And it's just like, oh, there's alcohol in there? And then Tsukuyo like knocks on the door, and Gintoki's like, I don't want no newspaper. And she's like, Gintoki? It's like, oh my god, I can't believe I said his name. I'm so nervous. And like she's being like the shy shoujo girl, and then he opens the door like she's saying all this stuff. And then Tsukuyo, she throws the chocolate at his face. She's like, yeah, you would want me to say something like that, wouldn't you? Kind of thing.
Oh my god. And then like, Sa-chan tries to do it too, and then breaks her finger while trying to press the doorbell. And what's this thing with like the trash can? Is it full of oil or chocolate?
It's full of chocolate because eventually they ask Sak-chan for help, and she's like, yeah, okay, so we're gonna dip ourselves in chocolate and we'll be the chocolate for Gintoki kind of thing. Yeah. So that happens, and Kagura, everybody gives up, basically. They leave the chocolate with Kagura, and Tei shows up, says like, oh, I wanted to help you, but it backfired kind of thing, and then, I forgot what she gives Kagura advice, so she takes it. She just opens the door, just throws the chocolates, like, hey, I found these outside, and closes it. And meanwhile, the whole time, Gintoki and, Shinpachi are like, dude, why the fuck have we not gotten any chocolates? What's going on? We got so many New Year's Eve cards. What about the chocolates, man? Where's the ladies?
Yeah.
Cause it's a big deal for guys, in Japan. In high school in Japan anyways. And, these guys are loser high school kids basically. Especially Shinpachi, right? Cause he's the otaku. So yeah, they get it, and they're just like, oh, okay, cool, that's nice. And it's all the chocolates, but Kagura wrote on them, saying they're all from Kagura kind of thing. And then the last one I read, I kind of skimmed, cause I'm like, whatever, it's with Catherine.
Yeah.
And, she like falls in love.
And then her face gets even, like, she looks better. She doesn't look ugly anymore.
Yeah, cause, Tama shows back up, right? Cause she works there. And she's like, oh yeah, they say, women become beautiful when they're in love. And yeah, she's drawn totally different. But then
and they're like, Gundam Tri-Zeta has returned.
Yeah. And then somebody talked shit to her. I think it was, Otose talked shit to her. And then so she reverts back to her normal, look. Starts flipping her off and stuff, yeah.
Remember when Gintoki's taking a shit and Tama just comes out of nowhere and he's just like, yeah, I'm kind of having an emergency myself. I've got an emergency of my own going on. I pretty urgently request you to get out of here. The beginning of that page though, I think page 3, where Gintoki's having a drink, but it's going down. It's not even going to his mouth. That's an iconic face. That's an iconic reaction. Even in the anime, that was great.
I kind of skimmed it because I'm like, I'm not really a fan of Catherine, and
I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, and it's kind of just similar to her last arc that we got. Her last
the
arc
cat burglar?
Yeah, like she was being portrayed by, her people. And then here it's like, oh, she's falling in love, is going to get married to this guy, and like, oh, it's just
kind of a boring one.
It's just a money scheme, basically. Like he's just going to marry her for the money kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, that's whatever.
And that was the last one you read?
Yeah, because I started reading the next one before we were recording, and I wasn't going to finish it in time, so I was like, I'll just save it for next.
Ooh.
I'll save it for the next one. Just to tease it, it's about the local neighborhood, and we get a new character introduced that wants to make Gintoki a boss of the neighborhood.
That is a serious arc, and that is the Kabukicho arc. That is a really, really good arc. You see Gintoki lose his shit. Like, oh my god. That is a really good arc. You get to know more of the background for Otose.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay,
and like, the other 4 leaders of Kabukicho. It's really fucking good. Oh my god, dude. I remember watching this at the gym, bro.
Okay, because what I've read like 2 chapters so far, and I was like, I don't know if I should take this seriously or just like, or what.
Take it seriously.
Okay.
Take it seriously.
I do like the new character that showed up though. I have it written. I think I have her name written down here. The one that wants to be Gintoki's student is.
Oh yeah.
What's her name here? Pirako.
Mm-hmm.
And they start doing bits of just how like they just keep changing her name, but it's like less feminine and all that.
Yeah. You get a really good fight. We're gonna have to have Oscar on this one because I think this is one of his most favorite arcs. He told me about this one like a while ago before I got to it.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to it, man, because yeah, a lot of wacky stuff here, man. I was expecting like one more big arc in this chunk, but
there's still gonna be
this one.
It's still a bit wacky in the beginning, but other than that, it gets really serious. It's not like I mean, when it comes to like arcs that you're at right now, like where we're at. I mean, yeah, definitely the Yoshiwara in Flames is 1, and this one is like number 2.
Mm-hmm.
For like serious arcs.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so that's gonna be it for this episode. A lot of talk about and just a lot of wacky.
Oh, we were on for a while.
Yeah, good. I think it's the longest Gintama episode so far we've done.
Hell yeah. I was actually looking at the manga pages, that's why.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's like just so like, oh my gosh, man, the amount of, again, like I'll keep saying it, man, the amount of dialogue that we get in Gintama is just keeps astounding.
Oh yeah.
Me, you know?
On pawn. Oh man.
So yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap us up today. Thanks for listening. If you have any thoughts about Gintama, remember you can always email us at unversedpodcast@gmail.com. For those questions, comments, concerns, follow us on social media at Unversed Podcast anywhere you go. Mm-hmm. And remember, guys, we're finally on Spotify now, so if you prefer that, go follow us there, man. So,
hell yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we're going to catch you on the next episode.
Yeah. Niggas know we be up all night. Yeah, check. In the crate all day, all night, flipping on them slick soul samples, y'all like, I am in the sky shining, for y'all who lost sight, at the darkest hours, you can see the stars bright, I'm chilling with the 360 crew, pouring potions of pinnacles, cypher spitting these miracles, you should be in here spinning too, y'all need music to listen to, I'ma do it like Rizzy do, in the stew while you partying, cause I'm a busy dude, all night, make music for you to listen to, then I do a track like this, has the interlude, and I got my own mic, so I give this shit to you instantaneous intervals, time bracket is minimal. I'd say that I do this in my sleep, but I don't sleep, cause it's something that my man Nessie Nas told me. Yeah, I wake up, work, and sleep. I wake up, work, and repeat. Next to the boards with my boys, you can find us rapping, chilling, sipping on Jemima, Sprite bottles, J's, packs, pills, and pencils, Pro Tools, old school flows, and instrumentals. And we here with all the chicks you party with, chillin' and they watch us spit, they want the dick. They like the way we workin' this paper, we earn it. You never see the squad I'm with, call it quits. The time zone on my iPhone switched up so many times that it froze. You could say the time froze. I'm above the clouds when I'm on my schedule. My life is like Super Mario, bonus levels. I'm on fast moves, doing things that I have to do. Bluetooth, cause your girl hitting me up out of the blue. She down for it too, we rollin' around on some moves. I know that she the one to chill with, cause I found her in school. She empowers me, she proud of me, she prays with a passion. That my patience and passion will make a way through the madness. Amen. With a verse, I try to say what heaven's saying. We'll see what I end up bringing to my book of Revelations. 9 kings, Lord of the Rings. We're the baddest broad, I'm a beast, but I ain't with the horror Babylon. Matter of fact, I'm a savage, I'm a damn animal. Interacting with the humans, Scooby-Doo, Jabberjaws. Carry on with the foolishness, I don't hear the stupid shit. The word of mouth I heard about is all ludicrous. This is like a childish game, everyone pursuing them, everybody tagging along, but nigga, who is it? Liquor mixing with my intuition, got it in my system. Now I'm turning space, crank the subwoofer, think I turned up the bass. She could get bass with me and 18 of my dogs in the grocery store, right between all the halls. When all the people are gone, it still feel like a star, cause she always move around a lot with me and my squad, and she doing all of this without being involved. We move too fast, everybody come catch us. We're in the clips, don't try to look past us. All these lame niggas got this rap shit backwards. When it gets harder, you're supposed to move faster, and we let our pride carry us like lepers. Y'all falling off, y'all down in Atlantis. Drake did this song 9 a.m. in Dallas. I be in the crate 5 a.m. flipping samples. Work hard like I got some shackles on my ankles. Now y'all niggas just being enslaved by some tattoos. I'm fly like Mario with the raccoon. Up where the sun is when it's afternoon.
What the fuck are you talking about? And I'm rapping too, rapping through. What happened to you?
I don't know.
Don't want to battle you, scramble you like eggs off the top of the head.
What?
Stop it, you dead. Drop to your legs. Not dropping.